College Hockey USA, in conjunction with USA Hockey, presents the John Hancock USA Hockey Tour. Tonight, Team USA versus Team Russia, live from the Orlando Arena in Orlando, Florida. Tonight's game is brought to you by Steve Jensen's Heartland Hockey Camps, America's premier hockey camps for kids. By iTech, all of our research has gone to your head. By John Hancock Financial Services, proud sponsors of Team USA. By the Original Profiler, the do-it-yourself handheld sharpener that'll give you a perfect radius grind every time. By the United States Hockey Hall of Fame, where the legends of hockey live on. And by Nordic Track. Get on track with Nordic Track.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this live telecast of Team USA Hockey versus Team Russia from the Orlando Arena. I am Tim Becker. This is Game 5 of a best-of-7 series between these two teams. The Americans lead it 3-1. Quite simply, that means that if the Americans win tonight, well, they would, of course, win the best-of the series. Now, it is no secret that these two teams have been playing each other pretty tough as of the last couple of games, and that means we could have some pretty intense action here tonight. For more on that, let's go upstairs to Jimmy Rich and Chico Resch.
Thanks very much, Tim. And as you can see, this series has been very close. Team USA taking the first two, but then suffering a letdown after that real emotional victory at Lake Placid, losing Game 3, but then they come back and win 2 nights ago to put this series on the edge. And Chico, Team USA here has a chance to wrap up this series tonight. How important is that to them in a series like this, to get it done in 5?
Well, they've played very well, Jim, but the fact is that they've been winning, and the last game was very physical. So it's very interesting tonight to see what kind of game is going to be played. When you go into the Olympics, you want to be able to win any kind of game, and tonight may be a very special kind of game as far as the young Americans are concerned.
Well, goaltending has been very critical for the United States so far, and they've gotten sensational goaltending from Mike Dunham.
Well, you know, every team that's done well in the Olympics and even in the World Championships for the United States team, 1960 it was their goaltender, 1980 Jim Craig, and now Mike Dunham is the key again this year. Gar Snow may come back, but it looks like Dunham's going to be their man. He's played very well, and he'll have to play well the whole Olympics if they're going to do well.
On defense for Team USA, Peter Laviolette. Now, he's very familiar to Olympic hockey fans because he was a member of the '88 team.
He's got great experience. He's the oldest player. He's been the captain. He's been nominated captain. He's also been the captain in the minor leagues. Has had a very good minor league career as well as the other experiences. So he brings that stability that you need on defense.
Now, this Soviet team is not the team that will represent Russia in the Olympics. Instead, it's a compilation of a couple of elite teams, and one of their key players is Valery Karpov.
Well, 6 or 7 of these players will definitely be on their national team, and this is one. He's been drafted by the Anaheim Ducks. He's been walking around the hotel with his Ducks hat on, but he is a great scorer, got great offensive skills and lots of energy, and he's obviously one of the key players.
All right, it should be a sensational game, and we will have the starting lineups and national anthems for you right after this timeout.
Heartland Hockey Camps offer the finest hockey program available anywhere. Located in the heart of Minnesota's resort area, the camp provides intense individual instruction combined with lakeside fun in a beautiful Northwood setting. Daily 7-hour programs of thorough on-ice instruction that emphasize the fundamentals of hockey. We also provide extensive dryland training, the newest trend in the hockey industry. Most of all, Heartland is fun that you can share with new friends and old. For a free brochure, call 1-800-945-RINK. That's 1-800-945-RINK.
From Christian Brothers, the Christian Carbon Composite Advantage Handle. Christian's advanced technology with its exclusive filament wound composite handle gives you greater durability with unmatched performance. It's lighter than aluminum, gives higher speed shots with the same shooting force, has the shape and feel similar to wood. The CCC, the Christian Carbon Composite Handle, with a tough diamond design. Christian Brothers, World, Minnesota. Hockey sticks made by hockey players.
Welcome back to the arena, folks. We're speaking with Team USA coach Tim Taylor about this whole series with the Russian team. And, Coach, how's the series gone thus far? I mean, what has been the type of play the two teams have displayed to this point, and what do you expect with the remainder of the games in the series?
Well, first of all, this is a real good Russian team. There are 7 members of this team that played in the World Championships last spring and helped Russia win the gold medal. The games have been very, very competitive. We played with a lot of emotion and spirit back in Lake Placid in the opening game, second game, and won that game, and played a tired Russian team the first game and managed to win that game. The third game, they waxed us pretty solidly 3-1, and then we came back and played a real good game in Greensboro the other night to win 5-4 in the last 5 minutes. So it's been a very competitive series. The Russians provide us some excellent opposition and a chance to work on our weaknesses. And every time we seem to make a mistake and get out of position just a slight little bit, they execute very well. So it's an ideal opponent for us at this time in our development.
Okay, people say these two teams have been getting a little bit tired of each other, for lack of a better word. Game 5 coming up tonight, and so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think there was some tempers got a little flared in the last game. We've talked to our team and they've talked to their team, and hopefully we'll put an end to that and just play hockey. It's not our style. We realize we have to be poised and disciplined and under control, and I'm sure the Russians do too. It's just that we are working so hard defensively, as are they, that sometimes with a game of hockey it happens. I don't think either coach is encouraging a rough or feisty play. We're trying to play it hard and tough, and when you play the same team 7 games in a row, sometimes things get a little off balance.
Okay, thanks. Head coach Tim Taylor, Team USA, back up to you, Chico and Jim.
All right, thanks very much, Tim. Now let's take a look at some of the key players tonight for Team USA. We touched on them a little bit, and we have with us the U.S. national anthem before we get to the key players. All right, now let's take a look at some of the key players in tonight's game. And of course, we touched on them just a bit before. Mike Dunham, the goaltender for Team USA, comes into this game with a 16-3-1 record. He has already posted 2 shutouts this year. And Chico, he has a lot of international experience.
Well, he does. And, you know, last year he didn't lose a game playing for Maine, so he's got a lot of confidence. And he's going to need that. International hockey, Jim, you don't get a lot of shots. But when you do, they're usually high quality, 2-on-1s. They got to move across the net well, and he does all those things.
Now, defensively, you almost have to be offensive-minded. When you come to international hockey, and Team USA has some very good ones, including Brett Howard.
Well, they've got a great core of offensive defensemen, but all of these guys, including Brett Howard, who skates very well, has to prove that he can play defense under pressure.
Also for Team USA, their captain, Peter Laviolette, they nicknamed him Gramps because he's 29 years old. He just had a birthday 2 days ago.
Well, he's the one guy back there that can play defense, and he's the guy that's going to have to lead that part of the game. They're going to have to tighten up defensively. Peter has the experience, and he'll be the leader back there.
Up front for Team USA, a group of very quick, speedy forwards, and one of the best, Craig Johnson, out of the University of Minnesota. Coach Taylor said he has really improved as his tour has gone along.
Well, again, there's so many great offensive players on this Team USA, and Craig has been coming on. He's been hot lately, so he's on a streak right now. It'll be fun to watch him tonight.
And also, the Ferraro twins have really done an outstanding job for Coach Taylor.
Well, they're really unique. They bring a different level of play. They're chippy. They really get their nose in there, but they can play the game. A lot of character on this USA team. We'll see some of that here shortly.
All right, we're ready for the opening face-off, and puck is dropped, and we're underway. Team USA controls in their own zone. Chris Imes plays it up the boards, out to center. Back to get it is Tertisny for the Russians. His pass is knocked down. Team USA controls momentarily, but now the Russians come back the other way, getting it to center, and poking it in was Valery Karpov. Now Dunham behind his net, plays it up the near boards. The Russians will hold it in, back to the point. Long shot, Dunham the stick save, and he covers up quickly as Alexander Sherevov took the shot from the blue line.
Nice kind of shot to get started with. Mike Dunham gave the puck away down to the point, Here you'll see it. It goes back to the point, and the Russians usually don't shoot from the point, but a lot of traffic in front. This is a thing that they've changed in their game. There's traffic in front. They can shoot from the point, go for the rebounds and the deflections.
Now Mark Buffet takes the draw for Team USA, controls to Howard, plays it ahead, and now here's Buffet coming to the red line, then gets crossed up, so he turns back. Howard chases it down into his own zone, heads in behind, winds it up the boards to John Lilly. Lilly to Buffet. This line has been red hot lately for Team USA. Now Richter dumps it in. Roberts in on the forecheck, gains control in the corner. Roberts centering pass, and that goes behind. Member of Team USA, John Lilly, and now back with it is Barry Richter out of the University of Wisconsin. Richter leaves it in behind for his defense partner, Hauer. Hauer bangs it off the boards out to center, and the Russians take over there. Now coming to the red line and firing it in is Davidoff, and then the Russians will make changes. Back to get it is Richter. Now he plays it ahead to Peter Ferraro, to Craig Johnson, who fires it in. In behind, battling for it there is Ferraro. He ties up his man, takes him down. Johnson gets control, feeds into the corner, centering pass. That fails to connect. Now at the point, Laviolette throws it towards the net. A bouncing puck deflects into the far corner. Marchant puts it in behind to Ferraro. Ferraro feeds it back to the point, but Crowley had to move out, and so Team USA has to regroup. Now a pass into Marchant, and he's offside. And so we'll have a face-off out in the neutral zone. 18:02 to go in the first period. No score between Team Russia and Team USA.
Here's Timmy Taylor. Got a lot of patience. Timmy has a lot of patience. He realizes he's in it for the long haul. He doesn't want his team peaking now. He's experimenting with his power play, with some of his forechecking. He wants to be ready when it's February, when he gets over to Norway. And so he's just a perfect personality for the type of team he has.
Off the face-off, the Americans control and flip it all the way down. They wave the icing. Suyev handles it there, plays it around the boards. The Russians try to chip it out, but Todd Richards keeps it in. Or check that, Travis Richards. Richards into the circle, a quick shot, rebound, and it goes up high in the air, bounces right in the crease. Clear to the line, not out. Now Moran, a long shot. Loose puck in front, and Suyev makes the save. And the Russians send it all the way down, and this will be icing against Team Russia, but great chances for Team USA.
Well, it was a very physical game, the last game these two teams played. It really erupted in the second period. Remember, they're playing on a smaller ice surface. Things are going to happen. There's going to be much more body contact, a lot more shots and goal mouth action. In the bigger rinks, you see a lot of clever plays. In a rink this size, you're going to see a lot of guys driving to the net. There you see rebound, Team USA doing a good job of driving towards the net.
Off the face-off, the Russians control. Andrei Sochopolkonov tries to clear, can't get it out. Centering pass for Campbell. He turns around, but then it's tied up in the slot as Davidoff tied him up from behind. And now the Russians will try again as they wind it around the far side. Get it to the line, not out. Campbell's long shot, and Suyev turns that off into the corner. Now the Russians chip it out to center. Lazaro can't control. Back the other way. Long shot, blocker save as Veritsky lets one fly, but Dunham saw that the whole way. And back down into the Russian zone goes the loose puck. Now coming to center is Veritsky. Veritsky stops, being watched by Imes. Imes knocks him down. Now after it is Dmitry Popov, but he's belted to the boards, and we get a whistle. And the puck goes out of play. And with a break in the action.
Finally, the Profiler, a handheld skate sharpener that allows you to sharpen your skates yourself, be it routine sharpening or game time emergencies. Just think of the time and money you'll save, and it also saves the life of your blades. NHL stars Neil Broughton and Butsy Erickson endorsed the Profiler because it works. The Profiler gives perfect edges every time. So like thousands of other skaters, you can do virtually all your sharpening yourself. Order today, 1-800-950-EDGE. And if you aren't completely satisfied, return your Profiler for a full refund.
Face-off coming up just outside the Team USA blue line. Mark Buffet on the draw, battling to gain control, and does as he gives it to Chris Imes. Imes, one of the 6 members from the University of Maine on this hockey team, plays it into the corner. Roberts double teamed in there. And finally the puck comes free, and the Russians clear to the line, not out though, as John Lilly holds it in. Now here's a center pass, they score! Mark Buffet gets the goal as Roberts set him up at the side of the cage.
These are the type of goals that make coaches pleased, because it's a goal off a strong forecheck. The United States team's going to have to do a good job of forechecking. Actually, I think the Russian player tripped over the referee there. Roberts goes in the corner, just turns and wheels, throws it out front, a good tic-tac-toe play. Again, we talked about the U.S. team driving for the net, and here you see, good job of driving for the net. The puck arrives, bang, it's in the net. Nice finish by Mark Buffet.
For Buffet, that's his 11th goal of the tour. Check that, his 16th goal of the tour. And as we talked about earlier, that line has really been clicking. In their last 12 games, they have 17 points. Buffet with 5 goals, 12 assists, and Roberts with 8 goals and 11 assists for 19 points. So they really have gotten a lot of production out of that unit in the last dozen games or so. Faceoff coming up just inside the Team USA line. Puck is controlled by the Americans. Richards plays it out to Hauer. Hauer gets around his man. Moving right in. Brett Hauer the shot up high on Suyev. He makes the save. Puck in the corner. Popoff tied up by Ferraro. Now it's trying to center it is Craig Johnson, but he's met at the side of the cage. Puck deflects into the near corner. Johnson in there for Team USA. Tertishny, though, banks it off the boards. And the Russians clear it all the way down. They wave the icing. And back to get it is Richards. Richards plays it to Hauer. He's tied up along the boards. The Soviets, or check that, the Russians rather, come up with it. Puck bouncing in front, but not being able to get a handle on it was Dudulakov. Now a long lead pass, and it's fired in from center as Lazarov shoots it in. Now puck played around to the near side. Johnson plays it up along the boards, and it's dumped out into the neutral zone. Russians take over there. Now the puck comes near the blue line. Laviolette keeps it in. That's knocked down in front. And back the other way comes Team Russia. Centering pass, and fanning on the shot were the Russians, and now it comes out to center ice. Chico, when you're going up against an international team like that, how much different it is for these players that have played college and in the minor leagues?
Well, you always hear the cliche, the speed, but they come at you so quickly that it throws you, and you don't want to have too big a gap. Jim, you don't want to give them too much room, but you don't want to stand up on them and get beat either.
We have our first penalty call, and it'll be against Team Russia. So when we return, we'll have a Team USA power play for you, live from Orlando. Well, Coach Tim Taylor has to be happy with what he's seen so far here. His team leads at 1-0. We had matching penalties out of that altercation on the far boards, and so we'll continue to play 4-on-4 now. No team with a power play advantage at this point. Now the Russians carried in. Karpov with it, tries to center it, puts it towards the front of the cage, but Dunham's there, and he clears it out to center, where Nikulin has it. Nikulin's pass knocked down by Brian Ralston. Ralston, the #1 draft pick of the New Jersey Devils, fires it in. Now Nikulin takes a hit in his own zone, but is able to play it in behind. Now accepts a return pass. Coming to the line and crisscrossing, here's Karpov with it. Karpov in behind, centering pass, he scores! It bounced off the defender in front, Travis Richards, and goes between Dunham's leg and into the net, and Team Russia has tied it at 1.
Well, I mentioned at the outset what a gifted scorer Karpov is. These aren't normally the type of goals he's going to get, but when you're a goal scorer, it seems that good things happen to you. Karpov's just going to circle around the net. He's not going to look. He really doesn't see anyone open. He's actually under some pressure here, and he's just going to throw it out. And Travis Richards, being where he should, is doing it spin move and it hits his heel, and Dunham doesn't even see the puck, but it dribbles through his legs, and we're now tied 1 goal apiece.
Still 4 skaters aside as Karpov gets the goal to tie it up for Team Russia. Lilly and Gatalin are still in the penalty box. They have 45 more seconds to go on their minor penalties for roughing. Now the Russians back in again. Crowley ties up his man. Puck comes free, coming out in front and taking the shot is right on, and we get a whistle though, and I'm not quite sure why the goal came off, but let's go back and look at that play again as Karpov tied it up.
Here's a great angle. Now watch, Karpov really doesn't have a man open. He's under extreme pressure. He just wants to throw it out front and see if something good can happen. Well, obviously, the ultimate happened. It was off the actually right heel of Travis Richards and into the net. A fluke goal, but they count just as well as we look at the Soviet head coach. He played on Team Canada in '76, and Valery Belousov.
Now play underway, 12:40 to go here in this first period. 1-1 between Team USA and Team Russia. Game 5 of this series. The Americans with a 3-1 lead. Delayed offside, so Marchand has to check up at the blue line. Now a pass misfires in the Russian zone. Centering pass by Marchand, and Johnson couldn't get a stick on it as Suyev comes out and tips it out to center. Now Lazarov after it, but he can't get the handle, and the Americans come out to center. Marchand, long lead pass off the board. Johnson after it, going right in, and he scores! It took a while to get there, but it finally is up in the net, and it's 2-1 USA.
This goal almost looks like slow motion. Craig Johnson makes a great rusher. He stays wide, takes the puck off the board. Now watch him drive for the net. Karpov got a lucky goal, but he's been hot. Johnson has been extremely hot, but this is why good things happen. Look at how Craig Johnson drives to the net. We talked about that the first shift. Team USA is really driving for the net. That shows they're ready to play. That shows they have a lot of courage, that they'll drive for the net to make the play, because that's where a lot of things happen. You see Craig going flying after he scores, but that's the sign of a successful team, a team that's ready to play.
For Johnson, it's his 16th goal of the series.
Assist by number 19, John Lilly.
John Lilly picks up 1 assist. And Mark Buffet the other. Now a wraparound attempt by Ferraro is stopped by Suyev, but we're going to have a penalty, and Team USA will go to the power play unless Ferraro picks up an additional penalty, but he gains his composure and skates away, and so Team USA will go to the power play.
Here we'll look at the penalty. A lot of pressure on the referee tonight. The Russians called the United States office in Colorado Springs complaining about the refereeing in the last game. They felt they got too many penalties. There was a second period in the last game where they were actually ready to pack it in. I don't know if they really were, but they hinted like they maybe had enough. So it was interesting to see how this referee would call the game. He's called one penalty on each team, and now this is the first power play. The U.S. power play has worked very well. Obviously, we talked about this. USA team has great offensive abilities, both up front and on defense. And we'll get a chance to watch a 5-on-4 here.
So Nikulin goes for tripping, and Team USA will go to the power play. So far on this tour, Team USA has not had the greatest success, as they've gotten 36 goals on 216 chances. Average success only about 16%, but that hasn't been a concern for Coach Tim Taylor, because he told us today that he doesn't really care if his power play is at its peak right now.
Well, exactly, Jim, and here's an example now. He's got David Roberts, a left winger, playing defense on one of the defensive positions on the power play. He's experimenting right now. He wants to find out, can Dave Roberts play, point on the power play? Let's find out under these conditions rather than later in the season. So there's some experimenting going on, but the power play has looked very good.
Now here's Roberts firing it ahead. Ralston gets it into the Russian zone, plays it into the corner for Jeff Lazaro. Lazaro gets it to Buffet. Tertishny ties him up. Now with it, Ralston feeds back to the point. Himes, check that. Ian Moran takes a look, but his shot is blocked. And now the Russians control in the neutral zone. With it is Igor Veritsky. Veritsky still killing the time, but now loses it. And the Americans take control. It comes to the front of the net. And Tertishny gains it and fires it all the way down. Dunham out of his cage to set it up for Ian Moran. Pass is too far for Roberts. And the Russians drive it right back down. 50 seconds left to go on this Team USA power play. Now Moran working through traffic, plays it ahead to Johnson, who just backhands it deep into the Russian zone. Johnson tries to hold it in, but he can't. And now he'll have to retreat as teammates come back on side. Now the Russians control, bringing it to the line and trying to dump it in is Davidov, but it's taken away. And now Craig Johnson has it. Johnson at the blue line, slides it deep into the corner. Such a poke off, tries to clear, he can't get it out. Now the Russians intercept. And after it is Guzmanov, but he can't control the bouncing puck. And Crowley takes it in behind. Now Ted Crowley, long lead pass to center is broken up and driven right back in. And the Russians are back at full strength. And Ferraro with it. Ferraro tries to get across the line. He's taken down, no call. And the Russians come back the other way, and leading the charge is Dmitry Popov. Popov gets to the line, but then it's knocked away. And Richards fires it out. Now a long shot, gloved by Dunham. Richards quickly back out to center. Chris Ferraro sidesteps one man, plays it ahead. Here's Darby Hendrickson. Hendrickson going in, backhander. And Suyev got the left pad on that one. Now Howard ties up his man, allowing Richter to take over. Winds it around the boards to Ferraro. Ferraro trying to clear, can't get it out as Lazarov keeps it in. But now here's Hendrickson around one man. Delayed penalty coming up on Team Russia. And we get the touch up and we'll get the penalty call. With Team USA leading Team Russia 2-1. We'll be back with the Team USA power play right after this timeout.
One of your most important pieces of hockey equipment may be obsolete. iTech presents the most revolutionary helmet in hockey history, the I-90. It's the performance leader of helmets. Its shell is reinforced by a polypropylene bead that's super resistant, yet ultra light. The I-90 is adjustable. Simply turn the dial and the helmet shapes to the contour of your head. The I-90 features an air ventilation system that keeps you cooler. The I-90 from iTech, clearly the best protection in sight.
Team USA leading it 2-1, and they'll have a chance to widen that lead now as Team Russia has picked up another penalty. Pavel Lazarov has gone to the box. And so we'll have to see how Team USA does on this second opportunity. Their first chance, they really didn't get a lot of good opportunities, Chico.
No, actually, they gave the puck away a couple times. They don't look real confident on their power play.
Now off the draw, Ralston keeps it in for Team USA to Jim Campbell. Now deep in the corner, Lazaro in behind. Sets up camp, now comes out the far side. Back to the point to Moran, over to Roberts. Roberts with a great shot from the blue line, gives it to Moran. Now to Ralston on the far side. Ralston moves in, now keeps it on the outside, drops it into the corner, and taking it in behind is Campbell. Now Ralston on the far side with it. Back to the point to Moran, back to Ralston, moves in, takes the shot. Suyev got a piece of that one. Lazaro battling for the rebound. And Campbell now ties his man up along the wall. In there, Shaverov trying to clear, but the Americans gain control. Here's Roberts' shot, and Suyev does a nice job to get out in front and tip it away, and the puck comes back out to the center. Now David Roberts to Ralston, ahead to Jim Campbell. Campbell chases it down in the corner, heads in behind, puts the brakes on as Tertishny ties him up. Now a centering pass for Roberts, and it goes off the heel of his stick. The Russians clear, but not out as Crowley holds it in. To Ralston. Ralston along the half boards, moves back towards the blue line, now takes the shot. Zuyev the save, rebound in behind, centering pass, comes right to the side of the cage, and Zuyev reaches down and smothers it, and he'll hold it for the face-off.
Much, much better power play for the Team USA. Talked about confidence, and here's Zuyev. Now he's going to come out, he's going to see a guy, oh, well, here's a chance, shot from the point, a rebound. Much like the Soviet goal, it's going to go off the heel of the Soviet or Russian defenseman in front, and Zuyev had to make a good save off the deflection, but he's the one goalie here that I think will have a chance of playing on their national team in the Olympics. Roberts has been injured. David had a slight groin pull, and he's going to the dressing room. Looks like it's acting up on him again.
Well, hopefully it's nothing serious because he's a key cog for this Team USA hockey team. Now Laviolette, a long shot, right on, rebound blocked in front. Puck cleared around the boards, held in by Crowley to Laviolette, into the circle, cross pass, but not getting enough wood on the pass was Peter Ferraro, and it's picked off and sent all the way down. 14 more seconds of power play for Team USA. Ferraro to Laviolette, he can't handle it at the blue line. Now back the other way. Here's a chance for the Soviets, or Russians rather, going in, and he scores! A great individual effort by Valery Karpov has tied this game at 2. Karpov slammed into the boards after he scored and is not getting up.
Actually, it's a short-handed goal, and this is what teams that play against the Russians fear. You've got a good roll going, but all of a sudden, one little harmless turnover, it appears, turns into the goal for the Soviets. Now watch how quickly Karpov picks the puck up off the boards. He's going to drive. Now watch how long he holds on. He takes Dunham across. He still waits. He still waits. He goes almost all the way to the goal line, and that takes great patience. He loses his edge after he does score the goal, and he's just getting up now. But watch the patience here. Karpov, as I mentioned, a pick of the Anaheim Ducks, definitely has a skill to play in the National Hockey League. Just a great goal. And here's the finish. He loses his edge, bang, into the boards. Looks like he's okay. Two-player pileup and an official were involved.
Almost looked as if he ran right into the referee's skate. Almost looked like he hit his head on the referee's skate in the corner as he lost his balance and fell with Todd Marchant right on his back. So it's 2-2 here, 6:29 to go in the first period. Here's Darby Hendrickson going right in. Oh, and he just misses putting it in the short side. A great effort though as Hendrickson cut right across the net and had some room had he gone upstairs. Now we get a penalty coming up here on Team USA as Chris Imes will be going to the penalty box. We'll be back with more from the Orlando Arena with the game all tied at 2. Chris Imes is in the penalty box for Team USA, and here's what happened on that situation.
There you see the stick in the skates, sends the Russian player flying. Just before that, though, Darby Hendrickson's having a great game. Drive it to the net, he hangs on, but just not quite enough. There you see the stick come through and prevent him from lifting the puck, or the USA would have had their third goal.
So Team USA now short-handed, and they've done a very good job penalty killing so far this year, giving up just 46 goals on 268 chances. 17% is all the opposition is connecting on, as USA has killed 82% of their opponent's power plays. Now here's Popov with it, plays it into the USA zone. In the corner and battling there is Richter. He's really roughing up his Russian counterpart, and it works as the puck comes free to Buffet, and he slides it all the way down. Now coming out and rink-wide feed into the USA zone is Zinoviev. Zinoviev back to the point. Long shot goes over the top of the cage. Lilly, after the rebound on the far side, comes up, puts it in behind. Laviolette blasts it around the boards, and it goes all the way down. 53 seconds to go on the penalty time to Imes. Now the Team Russia looks to set it up as they come to center. Now a drop pass is picked up and backhanded in by Popov. But that results in little as far as a scoring chance goes for the Russians as Team USA clears it back out. Now Davidov, rink-wide pass, knocked down by Todd Marchant, gives to Craig Johnson. His shot is partially blocked and it deflects in behind. 16 seconds left to go on the power play. Team USA doing a great job not allowing Team Russia to get set up in their offensive zone. Now Lazarov dumps it in. Dunham out of his cage to wind it around. Himes out of the penalty box, gains control, backhands it down into the Russian zone where Nikulin has it. Nikulin now gives it to Dugalakov. Dugalakov comes across the blue line, has it taken away there. Richards trying to get it out, and some help from Marchant. Now over to Ferraro. Ferraro steps around one man, into the zone, stops, he gets a stick right up in the face, and we'll have a penalty here as Peter Ferraro gets a stick up high. We'll be back with the Team USA power play right after this. 3:45 to go in our opening period. Vadim Glavatsky is in the penalty box for tripping as he ran into Peter Ferraro. Really was kind of an accidental high stick as Ferraro put a quick move on him and his stick just rode up the shoulder of Ferraro, caught him in the face, but still he's in the box. So Team USA is on the power play. Their third chance here in the opening period, 0 for 2 thus far, and Roberts is back out there for Team USA, so hopefully it was just an equipment adjustment or something along those lines as to why he headed to the locker room, because he's back out there now playing the point on this power play, and he has the puck leading a 3-on-2 rush. Now stops and waits for help. His pass is picked off. Back the other way comes Team Russia. Going in on the breakaway. His shot. Oh, a great save by Dunham as he just got a piece of it. An excellent scoring chance by Bezrodnov, the defenseman, taking the chance and going for it, and he draws the penalty, and that'll even things up.
Well, it was a giveaway by Dave Roberts, who's really struggling, and the Russian player makes a good try going down. He tries to shoot back against the grain. Now, David Roberts has a groin pull. Watch him skate. He can't hardly push off. He tried to feather the puck back, gave it away, and a defenseman, Bezrodnov, he's the one who's going in. He hasn't probably been in this situation very often, being a defenseman, but it'll show you how the Russian players jump into play if there's an opening, and he really makes a fine move. He almost tucks that upstairs as he goes down, but Team Russia's having Team USA's having a lot of trouble on their power play, Jim. They've already given up one shorthanded goal and just about a second one there.
2:51 to go here in the first period. In another minute and 2 seconds, Team Russia will go to the power play, but for now, both teams are 4 skaters aside. Here's Barry Richter leading the USA charge. High slot, Richter takes a look back, now tries to throw it in front, it hits a skate, and back comes Team Russia the other way, leading the Russians. Beritsky going in, and he fires a slap shot wide of the net. Campbell now puts it off the boards, long lead pass to Chris Ferraro. Ferraro back to Richter, he fans on his shot. And Popov takes it in behind, but loses it. Now here's Richter with a chance. And Suyev comes out to meet him and make the save. Now Popov tries to feed a pass through. That's broken up. And Team USA takes over. Richter in his own zone, drops it for Hauer, but he was headed the other way, so he has to chase it down. Now he does. It gets it to John Lilly. Lilly back to Hauer. Long lead pass. Here's Hendrickson coming in, working 1-on-2. Tries to feed it back to Lilly. That's picked off by Gusmanov. And now Gusmanov comes back for Team Russia. Drop pass and a shot, and what a save by Dunham as he does the split to snare the drive off of Valery Nikulin's stick.
Going to see the Soviets crisscross at the blue line, and they're going to let go of the long shot. But again, see, there's traffic in front. Mike Dunham really makes a big save. He's a big kid, and he uses all of his frame to reach out and get this one. But the Russians have big hooks on their stick, and they can really fire the puck from long range, Jim. And there you see an example. They can score in close. They can score from long range. And the U.S. team right now is turning the puck over a great deal, and it must be driving the coaches crazy. The one thing you can't do in European hockey is turn those pucks over where there's 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s. the players are so skilled. It's like in basketball, if you're giving the other team a 2-on-1 all the time, they're going to score easy dunks. The same thing in hockey. And Team USA is going to have to tighten up on those turnovers.
Team Russia with the power play right now. 25 seconds left on the penalty time to Lazaro for tripping. 2-2 the score, a minute 19 to go in the first period, and now Team USA will be 2 men short as Peter Laviolette takes down his man. And so that means that the Russians will have a 2-man advantage for 14 seconds. Sorry, Chico.
Well, Guzmanov does a good job of diving there. And Peter Laviolette knows he didn't really hook him, but he knew he got enough that if Guzmanov goes down, he's in the box. There you see him shaking his head. Now watch, it's just a quick tug. The guy's getting away from him. Guzmanov's getting away from Laviolette. He just hooks him a little bit, not enough. There you see the dive. But you know what the referee's saying? Look, you know, you retarded his movement, and I got to call it even though he took the dive, and now the Team USA is really in a bind.
Could be up for an Academy Award perhaps with efforts like that. Now the Russians with the 2-man advantage, work it around the perimeter. The USA gets 1 man back as Lazarov comes out of the penalty box. So it's now a 5-on-4 advantage for Team Russia. And Team USA is able to clear it all the way down. Final minute of play here. 2-2 the score at the Orlando Arena. Team USA versus Team Russia. Now here's Tertishny starting the rush out for Team Russia. Gets to the red line, takes a look, tries to clear it in. It's knocked down by Richards. And the Russians will have to regroup once again. Tertishny with it. His pass is blocked by Ralston. Ralston picks it up, gives it to Lazaro, going in, he scores! Short-handed, and it's 3-2 USA!
All 5 goals tonight have been unexpected. Here's another play that seems harmless at the blue line. Brian Ralston makes a nice pass to Jeff Lazaro. Jeff was with us last year with the Ottawa Senators, getting a renewed life here. And look at this shot. It's a 5-hole shot. We call it a 5-hole because it's just above the stick and between the legs. It's not as bad a goal as it looks. A goalie can't stand with his legs perfectly together. And if the shooter hits that little hole just above the stick, it's that kind of reaction and celebration that usually follows. And Team USA, who's been ahead 3 times now, once again takes the lead with 21 seconds to go here in the first period.
So Lazaro gets the shorthanded goal. And Team USA now leads it by a score of 3-2 for Lazaro. It's his 11th goal of the tour. Now long pass picked off by Buffet. Over to Lilly, his shot right on. Suyev clears it away. 4 seconds left to go in the period. And so it looks like Team USA will go to the locker room with a 3-2 lead. And Chico, an interesting period. And as you said, there's a lot of things that happened in that opening period that really drives Coach's buggy, but they go to the locker room with the lead, and Coach Tim Taylor has to be happy with that. After 20 minutes of play, Team USA leads Team Russia 3-2.
Welcome back to Orlando Arena, everybody. Team USA leads Team Russia by a 3-2 count. We're at the first intermission, and joining me is Matt Martin, a defenseman with the team who is, of course, as you can see, not suited up. He was injured in the last game against Team Russia, one that the Americans won. They now lead the series 3-1. What has the competition been like with this Russian team? Is it a different style of hockey altogether, or is it kind of the same? Give us some sort of an indication of that.
It's a little different. The international play is a little more open ice. There's a lot of skating involved and a lot more stick work and, taking one-on-one play. It's a little different than what we're used to.
Okay, you in particular as a defenseman, how is your job different out there when you're skating against the Russians as opposed to another college player or somebody else?
Oh, they're a lot more talented. They're great players and they're great one-on-one players, and they really know how to play hockey, and they're well coached, and it's better. It's only going to make me better as a player, so I'm excited.
Okay. What about the particular series between these two teams? It's no secret now at Game 4, things got a little bit rough. And what has that been like out there? And have you felt it accelerating the intensity between these two teams as maybe perhaps the Olympics draws just a little bit closer?
Anytime you play a team 7 times in a row, there's going to be a lot of chippiness after the whistles. we had a little bit with that with Canada. After every whistle was a little, pushing around, trying to get a little respect, and we're getting ready for the Olympics.
Okay, tell me about tonight's game. What do you think? I mean, a 3-2 score after just one period, high-scoring game. Do you expect a high-scoring game like this?
Yeah, I think we have to work a little bit on defense, but there's a lot of offensive talent out there, and Mike's coming up with some big saves, and I think defense has to work a little bit.
Okay, Tim Taylor is your coach. He's really got a laid-back style. Why don't you talk a little bit about that when a series like this heats up and it gets pretty intense?
Yeah, he's just telling us. I think he talked to both the officials and the Russian coach, and he wants all that chippiness to stop. He's afraid someone's going to get hurt or break an arm or something like that. So he wants us to calm down a little bit with the stuff after the whistle.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Matt. We'll let you get back to your business at hand. Watch the rest of the game and hurry up and heal and get better, folks. Okay. Folks, we'll be back in just a moment with a feature on some of the goaltending talent that we have on this Team USA. Back in a moment.
Strong got some room to shoot from the slot. Dunham gets a pad down, rebound, and Dunham covers up.
They were considered the best in the business. Garth Snow and Mike Dunham backstopped the Maine Black Bears to their first national championship.
We are back. Team USA leading Team Russia 3-2 after the first period. Team USA goalies for the Olympics are expected to be Mike Dunham and Garth Snow. Both played together at the University of Maine, both helping Maine win the 1993 NCAA title. Now both will try to help the United States capture a gold medal in February. Jim Rich has more on the unique goaltending tandem.
Strong got some room to shoot from the slot. Dunham gets a pad down, rebound, and Dunham covers up.
They were considered the best in the business. Garth Snow and Mike Dunham backstopped the Maine Black Bears to their first national championship. And now they've been reunited once again, this time by U.S. Olympic team coach Tim Taylor. Taylor is hoping the same combination will work in Lillehammer like it did in Milwaukee. And Snow says the experience gained a year ago will definitely be a benefit in trying to win it all again.
We won't be happy unless we bring home the gold medal, and we can't really let the outside extraneous variables affect us. At Maine, is the guys in the locker room are the ones that we have to worry about. You worry about the guy next door, not, people who aren't with you want to win for them also, but you can't be worrying about, what they think of you and all the pressure that they're putting on you, because it's the person that's next to you in the locker room that you're going to go to battle with, and you can just worry about them.
Snow and Dunham are as different as night and day. Dunham is a conservative stand-up style netminder, while Snow is a flamboyant gambling goaltender. Despite their dramatic differences, they relate to each other well, both on and off the ice.
It's relaxing because we know where each other stand. We know that each of us is trying to improve our own games. We're not in competition against each other. And, if we're there for each other, if he needs help, if I need help, on or off the ice, we're both there for each other. So there's really, it eases off a little bit because we can confide in each other. And, if we have something bothering us, we'll be able to talk it out because we've become so close through the years.
Dunham was a member of the 1992 U.S. Olympic hockey team, but failed to see any action in the games at Albertville, which makes the desire inside him that much greater this time around.
In '92, I got a taste. I didn't get to play, but I was on the bench for a couple games, and I was there through the whole thing. And you realize what a great opportunity it is. I mean, not too many people can say they've played in the Olympics. It's a chance in a lifetime. This is, luckily I'm getting another chance to be there. And hopefully, this year I'll be able to play, a little more, get a little more ice time than I did last time. I'm not really worrying about it right now, but of course, when it comes time, I'll want to be in there when I can, and as long as I'm playing well, that's the most important thing.
Once again, Team USA leads it 3-2, and that, folks, is after just one period of play. All the intensity, action, and scoring that we had expected. And when we come back, Jim Rich and Chico Resch will go through each and every one of those goals for you. Back in a moment.
In between periods 1 and 2, and Team USA leads Team Russia by a score of 3-2. And Chico, certainly a very entertaining period of hockey. We saw two shorthanded goals, while other teams were on the power play giving up the shorthand goals. What does Tim Taylor tell his team right now after this first period? They have the lead, but it doesn't seem too secure out there. A lot of 2-on-1s coming in at Mike Dunham in that first period.
Well, you know, Tim said today that he felt his team had great offensive ability, great scoring ability. They've averaged almost 5 goals a game. But at the other end of the rink, they know they have to get better defensively. And that period was a perfect example. Team USA scored some great goals. They were very creative. They drove for the net. They finished their plays. Offensively, they're doing a tremendous job. But on the 2 goals, they turned the puck over, and there was at least 3 or 4 other times, of course one was a shorthanded, where they turned the puck over just inside the Russian blue line. And if you continue to do that against good offensive teams, you're going to get burned. So what Tim was telling us all day really showed up in that period. And of course, he's talking about January is the month that they're going to teach. They're going to really focus on the defense. Right now, he's just letting the guys play, you know, feel themselves, build some chemistry. And so, you know, I'm sure he's telling them, let's tighten it up, boys.
All right, let's take a look at the first period game summary brought to you by U.S. College Hockey Magazine. It's the only full-color publication devoted entirely to college hockey. From Detroit to Denver and Maine to Minnesota, no one else covers the college game like U.S. College Hockey, with interviews, features, and really everything you want in college hockey. So just send $15 check or money order to U.S. College Hockey Magazine, P.O. Box 3475, Peabody, Mass. And here you get to see that first goal by Team USA as Buffet got that goal that really got things going for Team USA, but Karpov, who has been so dangerous for the Russians throughout this tour, ties it up.
Here's another little drop pass. You can see a lot of motion when the Russians hit the opposing blue line. There they drop it off, and this is a lucky goal, yes. Karpov just throws it out front, but I think he's throwing it at the USA player in front, and it works. It hits the heel of Peter Laviolette and then goes in the net. Craig Johnson's had a very good first period, driving for the net. Watch this finish. He drives for the net. His stick goes flying. He goes flying. Look at the concentration. He even gets his hand up after he scores, and he brought that kind of zest to the first period, and Team USA did a good job of driving to the net. Karpov gets a second. His first one was lucky, but this was anything but lucky. This is another turnover. Here's what we're talking about, a simple play in the neutral zone, and the Team USA turns it over. This is what they got to get rid of. But Karpov, watch the patience, how long he holds on. He goes almost as long as he can, and then he fires it back against the grain. A great goal. And then the one late in the period, big boost for Team USA. Ralston, a nice little feed to Jeff Lazaro, and Jeff just goes in, looks for that 5-hole, about 8 inches over the stick, pounds it through the legs, and gives Team USA a big lift. The period wasn't great, but they are ahead, so they got to feel pretty good.
And that game summary brought to you by U.S. College Hockey Magazine. Well, in the situation now, 3-2, we're going into the second period. All these games have been so tight through the first period, through the second period. Only one game really has been a blowout game, that being game 3 after such an emotional game. So this one obviously is going to go on quite farther down to be before it's decided in this game.
Well, it is, and look at Tim Taylor looking at some rules or his notebook. I guess his notebook, wondering where's that defensive strategy we've been stressing here. But looking at some combinations, and Timmy Taylor's doing a good job, as is John Cuniff, all the coaching staff. As I mentioned earlier, they're trying to take a patient approach, understand there's going to be a lot of defensive mistakes, that this team's strength is their speed and their offense, but they know by the end of January and that they have to play well defensively, and that's what they'll be stressing, I'm sure.
Okay, our game summary of the first intermission has been brought to you by U.S. College Hockey Magazine. For 7 issues starting in January, send $15 to U.S. College Hockey, P.O. Box 3475, Peabody, Massachusetts 01960. Good crowd on hand here to enjoy this one. Not quite sure if he's happy or not with what's been happening, but he's very intensely studying the action out there as we're underway in the second period. Team USA starts the period shorthanded for another 35 seconds. Now Darby Hendrickson out penalty killing for Team USA along with John Lilly. And sending it all the way down is Team USA. Zuyev out of his net to set it up there. Now putting it in behind is Popov. On the far side to Shaverov gets away from one man, now brings it to center. Backhand pass, rink wide, out of the reach of Guzmanov, and Team USA dumps it out. Now here's Lilly, killing time in the neutral zone, drops it back into his own zone. Chris Dimes chases it all the way down, bangs it off the boards out to center to Lazaro. Lazaro out of the penalty box as Team USA is back at full strength. Now drops it back as Team USA completes a line change. Campbell gives it to Lazaro. Loses it at the center ice as the ice is a little wet still from the resurfacing in between periods, and puck has been sticking a bit here in the opening moments. Now here's Lazarov into the zone. Tied up by Howard, still maintains possession. Jim Campbell comes in to help out and he takes over. Campbell working along the near boards, gets it out to center, but no farther. Now Howard, rink wide feed, it's tipped in by Lazaro. In on the forecheck, Campbell, centering pass, the bouncing puck, turnaround shot by Ralston right on, and Zuyev comes out to make the save, and he holds on for the faceoff.
Team Russia giving the puck away numerous times in their own zone for no reason, not really under pressure. Here's Jimmy Campbell, he throws it out front. Zuyev gets a stick on it, but as you can see, it bounces in front, and Ralston spins, makes a good shot, but what set that play up was it was a harmless turnover. There was no pressure. You don't mind as a coach if defensemen give the puck away under pressure, but when there's no pressure, they still turn it over. That just drives you absolutely mad.
Now here's a steal right in front, they score! Craig Johnson stripped the puck from Davidov and beats Zuyev, and it's 4-2 Team USA. What an effort by Craig Johnson. That's his second goal of the night and fifth of the series.
Talk about turnovers right off the face-off. Everybody's got the man. Now look at, Davidov's got enough time. He's not under pressure right now, but he hangs on. He's going to try and do something, loses his train of thought. Craig Johnson coming around the other side of the net, sneaks up on him, retrieves the puck, makes a good shot, and then puts in the rebound. Again, a good example of the concentration that Johnson has tonight.
Boy, Craig Johnson, that is his 17th goal of the tour.
He said he was hot, Jim. He's got 2 tonight.
Now we get a whistle, and behind the play, Ferraro is tangled up with one of the Russians, and we'll have penalties here as Sochnikov goes to the box. Now he wants to get at Ferraro, but the linesman has him wrapped up. And we'll obviously have penalties here. Take a look at Craig Johnson's effort again here.
Here's the play. You see Craig coming behind, and Davidov doesn't sense the danger. And Johnson, not just the fact that he makes the first shot, but he stays with it and puts in the rebound. And that cheering you're hearing in the background now is a Soviet player taking his time to get into the penalty box.
And he's being asked to leave. Sapochnikov is getting sent to the dressing room. Apparently he had something to say to the referee, still stating his case, but Andrei Sapochnikov is being sent to the dressing room, and we'll have to see just what he did, whether it's a misconduct, but there's plenty of time to serve a misconduct. He may have been given the boot for the rest of the game.
Well, what's tough on this tour for the Russians is that they have no interpreter. There's only one of their trainers that speaks marginal English. So they're saying, well, what was that penalty all about? The referee can't even explain it to the Russian players exactly what happened. I got to be honest, Jim, I didn't see anything that warranted a game misconduct. Now, Ferrara and Zaputnikov were pushing and shoving, but it didn't look like anything serious, and all of a sudden, the Russian player is going to the dressing room. So I don't know if that is a game misconduct or just a 10-minute misconduct.
If he did say anything, how could the referee know what he said?
That's right. I mean, couldn't insult him. And didn't look like anything physical unless he tried to spear Peter Ferraro right after the play. But we'll find out once they make the announcement, I'm sure.
Well, they have put up 4 minutes on the penalty clock, and the 4 minutes is on the USA side, so Ferraro will be in for 4 minutes, and 2 minutes has been put up for Sapochnikov. But he has obviously picked up something more serious, and he's been sent to the dressing room.
Russian penalty to number 6, Andrei Sapochnikov. 2 minutes roughing and a game misconduct.
Well, they have given him a game misconduct, 2 minutes roughing and a game misconduct.
Well, that is strange. He only gets one minor penalty. He gets one for roughing in a game, where Peter Ferraro gets 2 minors, roughing and I think high sticking. I've never seen this before or heard of this before. And if the Russians were complaining after the last game, you can imagine what they'll be saying after that call. We'll try and find out exactly what took place and update you on that.
So in any event, it'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Then Team Russia will have a 2-minute power play. Now a turnover, going right in and scoring is Gusmanov. As again, we have touched on it time and time again, the turnovers in this hockey game is unbelievable. And there, Team Russia was able to capitalize as Gusmanov was given a free ride in on Mike Dunham.
Well, this is a copycat goal. We just saw the Russian defenseman give it away. There you see Travis Richards. Now, you talked about some wet ice. I don't know why he overskated the puck. Now, Gusmanov, he's trying to make a deke, but he loses the puck too. Now, let's see here. Yep. The ice there is just a little heavy with some water. It slows down. Now, Gusmanov knows how he's going to fake the shot and go to his forehand, but he loses the puck. Of course, Dunham's going with the original deke. Just slides through his legs. You feel foolish, but it's really hard to change your momentum once you commit.
So Team Russia is now back within a goal at 4-3. Pretty soon they'll just dump it out of their own zone the way things are going here, this one. Now Roberts upended as he tries to get into the Russian zone. Puck on the far side. Team USA, Richards pinching in deep, but he's pinched off the play. Now the referee gets in the way, and we have another game misconduct, or at least a penalty, as referee Dunn was bumped into by Veritsky, and we'll have to see what happens here with a break in the action. Team USA leads 4-3. Well, Igor Veritsky is being asked to leave this game as well, as he picks up a game misconduct for running into referee Dunn. And we have 2 angles of it, and see what you think.
It isn't really the bumping here. Now, Veritsky loses the puck there. That's okay, but watch this. Watch this now. Bang! He hits him right in the rear end. I mean, it's not hard, but I guess the frustration, you know, the referees have been in the center of controversy. He gives a pretty good shot. That wouldn't be a problem. Bang! It's that second tap. Now Veritsky's saying, look, I thought you were a player, I guess, because, you know, you tap a player like that. But now he's pleading his case. And trust me, they can't speak one word of English, and the North American officials can't speak any Russian. So I feel bad for the Russians because they don't really know what's going on, and they can't really plead their case.
Well, that's not one way to do it, though, with your stick.
They were using a little body language to make their point.
Well, this really puts the Russian coach in a bind, as now he loses 2 forwards. Now a long shot, changes speeds as it was tipped by Laviolette, and he's belted hard in the corner and slow in getting up. Now he's back up on his skates and will make it off to the bench. Still 4-on-4, and then the Russians will have a 2-minute advantage. And now back the other way. Here comes Lazarov. He's hooked from behind. No call. Play goes on. Now here's DeCullum with it. His shot partially blocked by Buffet, comes in on Dunham, and he covers up. And we've certainly seen everything here in this hockey game. 4-3, Team Russia leads at 16:10 to go here in the second period. 14 seconds left on the first Russian penalty. Then Team Russia will have the power play, and Ferraro will begin serving his second penalty. And here's what happened to Peter Laviolette on the far boards.
Really a pretty stiff cross check. Watch this cross check. Short and hard, and it catches him above the pants. It probably hits a nerve, and that's why for a moment there that Peter can't get off the ice. But the game is deteriorating. The sticks are really starting to fly now, much like the other game. So the game itself is at a very critical stage. Here's a coincidental penalty, and I think Dunn, the referee, recognizes that the sticks are really getting nasty. And that's I mean, it's good you play a team like 5 times in a row, but tonight, the 5th game after coming off a chippy game, it started now here with the 2 ejections of the Russian players. Here you're going to see at the lower end of your screen a grab. No, at the lower end down here, a grab and then a punch to the head there. So you'll get a good look. Good call, really. Here, just watch. Oh, Richter gives him a good shot to the neck. Lazarev is the Russian player who got his stick up around Richter's neck, and referee's in a bind right now. He's got a tough game coming up here in the next few minutes to see if he can settle the players down. It's tough. He can't go talk to the Russian coach, and Timmy Taylor coming forward. He's going to talk to the official. I think he's concerned, Jim. This is a very critical stage of this game. It could really erupt into something nasty, and Timmy's trying to talk to him, and unfortunately, again, the referee can't really say anything because he doesn't know any Russian, and there's no interpreters around to even try and talk to the Russian players to settle them down.
Well, Coach Tim Taylor, obviously a bit bothered by the things going on here, but his team is on top 4-3. And now the Russians will have a power play here for 2 minutes as Tertishny plays it wide to Guzmanov. Guzmanov carries in, bothered by 3 players, taken down. Now Tertishny fires a quick shot. It's right on the goal line. Dunham reaches back, fishes it out of the net, and covers it. The Russians are pointing to the Jumbotron scoreboard, wanting a replay, and so we'll give it to them.
Here we'll have a look at it. You be the judge. Russians are saying it went across the line. Mike Dunham makes a good reaction save. It's close. It's got to be all the way over, folks. Not just part of the puck. There you see Dunn, the referee, right on top of it. And again, the Russians are not pleased. They're also starting to dive. This game is getting very difficult for the referee. Every controversial play possible seems to be happening to him. And now the Russians are up. They think that it's not a very clear picture on the big board above center ice. They're saying, oh, look it's over. They're very upset. So that's going to be just something else that they're going to throw at the referee and his calls. As I mentioned, after the second period of the last game, Jim, they threatened to not come out for the third.
Well, off the face-off, it's fired down ice. The Russian bench was very upset. As we were showing the replay, it is also shown here in-house, and the whole bench was watching, pointing to it, saying that the puck indeed crossed the goal line. And it looked like it did, and nearly had quite a hockey game here. It's 4-3 still, though. The goal does not count as Guzmanov carries in. Guzmanov stops as he gets to the corner, back to the point to Tertishny. Now cross ice to Sharov. Shaverov takes the shot, that goes wide. Rebound held in by Tertishny. Now Tertishny to Guzmanov. Guzmanov in the circle, back to Tertishny. Back to Guzmanov, his one-timer goes wide. Shaverov with it. Puts it to the side of the net, centering pass is blocked by Richards, and he'll hold on and cover up and take the face-off, as there are now just 38 seconds, check that, 41 seconds left on the penalty time to Ferraro.
Going to do a little ISO here on some of the footwork of the goaltenders. A lot of people think goalies aren't very good skaters, but there's a lot of little adjustments on each play, even though the shots aren't taken. There you see Travis Richards making a good job of stopping the pass across. But a good shot by a cameraman of just to show you the little moves that it takes to be a top goaltender.
Off the face-off, Ted Crowley bangs it off the boards, and this will go all the way down right on goal. Suyev handles it and drops it off here. Now leading the rush is Nikulin. Nikulin to the line, and he dropped it off outside the blue line to Gatalin, and he brought it in. And so we'll have the face-off back in the neutral zone. 24 seconds left. 4-3, Team USA leads it. We're live at the Orlando Arena, and quite an advantage in that first period for Team USA in the shots, 16-8. Here in the second, though, much closer. Now Gatalin takes the draw and wins the face-off for Team Russia. Popov carries in, plays it into the corner, tied up by Crowley. Now Lazaro trying to get it out across the blue line. He can't though as it's held in. Moving in is Glavatsky. He centers it. Bouncing puck comes right to Dunham. It's still loose at the side of the cage. Poked to the line, not out. As keeping it in is Glavatsky. Glavatsky into the corner. Now it's fed back to the point to Nikulin. Far side, Popov with it. Puts it in front. Bouncing puck. Now Lazarov out of the penalty box. Puts it to the side of the net. Team USA is back at full strength. So they've killed off the penalty and still lead it by a score of 4-3. Back with more after this. Team USA leads it by a goal almost halfway through this wild hockey game. Two Russian players have been ejected from the game for talking with the official and even touching the official, a slash from behind after one of the referee Dunn got in the way. And really, we've seen it all here tonight. Short-handed goals.
Well, the last game, Jim, one of these Russian players got thrown out for pushing the official. So I'm sure the official was a little gun-shy when he felt that slash. Right away he reacted and threw the Russian player out of the game. It wasn't much of a slash, but of course, tempers are flaring. You know, the Russians play with much more emotion. 15 years ago, they were so disciplined as far as reacting to situations on the ice, not losing their composure. But that's the one thing we've taught them over here. Play with emotion. Sometimes it goes a little bit too far, but they are a different looking team than they were 15 years ago.
Off the face-off. Now we have the puck played with a high stick, so we'll do it one more time. Well, this is a basketball arena for the most part, and I'm not quite sure if there's people in those seats there or not. I guess you have to be belong to one of those weight loss clinics to sit in those chairs. Off the face-off. Popov with it, being watched by Ian Moran. Moran takes it away from him, plays it up along the near boards. Jim Campbell clears it to the line, but not out as Dukolov keeps it in. Now it's back near the point. Shot is knocked down in front as Davidov had a chance, but it was blocked. And now here's Campbell. Across over to Lazaro. Drop pass. Shot by Laviolette right on. He got it up a little too high, and Suyev was able to make the easy save and hold it for the face-off.
Look at Jeff Lazaro. He threw his hands up. He's thinking, why did I drop that pass? I should have just taken it to the net. He had a chance to go to the net. Made a pretty good play, dropping it back, but I think it handcuffs Peter Laviolette a little bit. Now here you'll see a good pass by Campbell. There's the drop pass, and Peter Laviolette, if he gets jammed, he can only wrist it. And a wrist shot from there usually isn't going to be much of a threat, especially when it's halfway up the ice. As the Russians throw the puck down off the face-off for an icing. One rule change that you'll see here that's different from the NHL. As soon as that puck on an icing crosses the goal line, the whistle is blown automatically. You also see that in college hockey. And it's a good rule because you don't have guys chasing each other on a harmless play and somebody running the other guy on just an icing.
Off the face-off, Richards can't keep it in. Now he dumps it in. Team USA checks up. Russians, though, get it out to center. Now another penalty call coming up here, high sticking. And I didn't see it as it happened away from the play, but it appears to be on Team Russia.
Well, it is, Jim. It was actually an accident. And you're going to see it's real subtle, fighting for the puck right here. There, bang. You see, just caught under Roberts' is caught just under the helmet. And so the referee caught that one, a subtle little play. Didn't seem like much, but a dangerous play.
Zinoviev gets the penalty, and so Team USA goes to the power play. And so far, Team USA has not connected on the power play. And they've given up a shorthanded goal. Now with it, Guzmanov. Long lead pass, misses everyone. Dunham clears it away. And now in the corner, Crowley to Laviolette. Now Todd Marchant with it in his own zone. To the Team USA captain, Peter Laviolette. Comes in line and fires it in. Now Marchant takes a big hit as Shaverov runs him over. Marchant, the smallest guy on Team USA, paid for that one, but he was able to break up the play. Now Ostrakontsev keeps it in for Team Russia. In behind the net, tries to put it out front as Guzmanov. He's knocked down, and Team USA takes over. Now here's Crowley to the red line, shoots it in. 1:02 left to go on this Russian power play, or check that Russian shorthand situation. The way they're playing though right now, it seems as if they have the extra man. Now Guzmanov can't control, and Team USA takes over. Buffet banks it off the boards to Craig Johnson. Johnson across the line, gets it to Marchant. Now back to Johnson, his pass is taken away, and Shaverov gets it out to center. And we have a two-line pass, and so we'll bring the face-off back down inside the Team USA zone. Well, the tour continues for Team USA. Their next game will be on Saturday night in Memphis against this same Team Russia. And then the 7-game series will wrap up Sunday at the Summit in Houston. That game's Sunday night in Houston, so hockey fans in Texas, although they have an NHL team, they'll now have a Team USA to look at as well as they come into the Summit on Houston, or check that on Sunday night. And there you see the remaining tour for Team USA as they prepare for the Winter Olympics coming up in February in Lillehammer, Norway. Here it's 4-3 Team USA. 11 minutes to go in the second period. Puck shot in from center, but then it's shot right back down, and Team USA has to regroup once again. Just 10 seconds left on this power play as Richter races into the Russian zone. A long drive, rebound, they score! The Russians say it was knocked in by a high stick, but referee Dunn says no, and they count it, so it's now 5-3.
I'm sure the Russians feel like they are not getting any breaks, but we talked earlier about Team USA driving for the net. Richter streaks down the wing and hammers this puck. Jeff Lazaro just driving for the net. He's actually trying to avoid the stick coming up in his face. He actually hits the puck with his stick as he's going through off the crossbar, but the play is made by Jeff Lazaro driving for the net. Here we'll see off the goaltender's chest. The puck's up in the air. And really, it's a good goal. He doesn't kick it in. He doesn't hit it with a high stick. But again, the Russians complain like they felt another call went against them, and they've had a few tonight.
Lazaro gets the goal, his second of the game and 12th of the tour. Richter gets an assist, a big hit in behind. And now things are really starting to heat up. Lilly has some words for Dunn as he was slashed after taking that, throwing the check deep in the Russian zone, and things are getting close to being out of hand, and what a hit there by Lilly. He just leveled his man at center with a great hit. Now Lilly throws another check in the corner. And things are really heating up here. 5-3 USA. Here's Campbell now into the Russian zone. Drops it back. Lilly the shot. Guyev the save. Ferraro after the rebound. He's tied up. A penalty here. Holding is the call. And we'll be back with more. You don't want to miss how this one turns out. Team USA leading the Russians 5-3.
There you see the score, but that's not really the issue right now. This game is deteriorating. What happened earlier was a big hit by John Lilly, who really finishes his check. Now watch here, if we can continue this. Watch number 5 try to kick his feet out. That is the worst play in hockey. That is the cheapest shot you ask any player, Russian or U.S. You just can't have that. Now just before this, there was another big hit behind the Russian end, and as the Team USA player came around the net, the goalie chopped him and speared him in the stomach. So the goalie's spearing. Davidoff's trying to kick feet out from under him. Team USA, don't get me wrong, they've had a few sticks up too. But the play is really deteriorating. Not something you expect in international hockey. But the problem is you can't fight, obviously, in international hockey. The way you get at other people are by doing cheap shots with your stick or kicking their feet out. And if you don't have a referee that can really get it under control, it could continue to deteriorate. And this is after a game the other night that was bad. So this is not a good sign for this whole tour, what's going on right now.
Well, it's too bad because here you have probably two of the greatest skating teams in the world. I mean, these players are so talented. They possess so many skills, and they're just getting completely sidetracked here.
Here's a look at the penalties. There's some clutching and grabbing. A good call. Ferrero's going off, and that is a good call. And I think the Russians also got one.
Well, now they're letting Subbotin come out of the penalty box, so I'm not exactly sure what the situation. There you see Subbotin going back to the bench. He was sitting in the penalty box. He probably just assumed it had to be on us, the way things have been going here for Team Russia. So the situation on the scoreboard is that we have matching penalties, and that's what we have here, 4-on-4. Now the net is knocked off as Marchand got his stick caught on the side of the cage, broke it off, and knocked the net off its mooring.
As people may know, the NHL just went through a situation where they had replacement referees. The first games were good, but near the end, what happened was the players did not take the authority serious. Just like in life, you don't take the authority serious, things start to deteriorate. And it looks like the Russians right now have no confidence in the referee. They don't care what he calls, and they're just taking one penalty after another.
Well, it is matching penalties as Ferraro goes for holding and Dukolokov goes for Team Russia for slashing. So it's 4-on-4. Now Marchand battling, trying to work the puck free, and he's able to come up with it. Then he's tripped up. Now puck comes back near the blue line. Tertishny holds his man in, Marchand, and we have a whistle and more penalties, and it's, I'm afraid, going to stay this way for a while as the Russians continue to be upset with the way things are going. And now another penalty called on the Russians. Zanubiev goes to the box for tripping, so now Team USA will have a 4-on-3 advantage for 1:24 seconds. Then it will be a 5-on-4 advantage. And there you see Valery Belousov, the Russian coach, and he really has to be frustrated.
Well, he's listening to us, yeah. And that was a questionable call.
Right.
I mean, I know the referee's trying to get it under control and calling it close, but don't call those penalties. Call the stick penalties.
Now puck is dropped and fired into the Team USA zone. Back to get it, David Roberts. Tim Taylor going with 3 forwards right now. Barry Richter, the only defenseman out there for Team USA. David Roberts had a sensational career at the University of Michigan. He was Freshman of the Year at Michigan and in the CCHA, and he was the first Michigan player to lead the team in scoring as a freshman since 1946. And of course, his father was Doug Roberts, who played in the National Hockey League for 10 years.
I played against him right at the end of his career.
Now here's Richter leading the rush. Dumps it in for Buffet. Buffet in behind. Then Richter knocked down in front, gets back up. Buffet still with it. Now plays it back to Richter. Richter moving in, drops it in the corner. Here's Roberts in the slot. Tries to get around Guzmanov. He can't, but Richter's able to keep it alive. Now here's Roberts to Richter. Richter plays it into the corner. Buffet bumps with his own man, and Guzmanov takes over for Team Russia. Now carrying it out to center is Nikulin. Decides to backpedal, but then he gives it away. Here's Buffet moving in. Takes a slash, loses control. Richter moving in. Puts it in front. Puck is loose, and Zuyev is able to find it before the man in front. And we'll have a face-off, but a good chance there as Barry Richter showed great patience moving in, trying to set up his teammate out in front.
Good turnover again by Team USA. He's trying to work the 2-on-1. Richter is. He throws it across, but it's bouncing to Roberts. He can't quite get the handle, and Zuyev gets it a little bit earlier. But there's a nice little flip pass, finds its way through, but the Russian goalie, Zuyev, does a good job. Now watch the footwork. Good lateral movement. He stays on his feet, comes on off one knee, and really does a good job of plugging everything low and then covering up for a face-off in his own zone.
46 seconds left in this power play opportunity for Team USA. Ralston set to take the face-off against Lazarov. Now Laviolette, a long shot that's gloved by Zuyev, and he holds for the face-off. And Peter Laviolette has been very productive on the power play for Team USA as he leads this team with power play goals with 5.
Good job. Winning those face-offs can be so important. Unfortunately, on that one, it's a 4-on-3. There's not enough Team USA players to get in front of the net, so the goaltender had a clear view. But a good strategy to win the face-off, let it go at the net. You want it to shot a little bit lower and hope for a rebound or a deflection.
Now this time Ralston can't control the face-off, and Team Russia sends it all the way down. Now both teams receive a player back, so Team USA is back at full strength. The Russians are down a man for another 28 seconds. Here's Ralston, gets it to the line, drops it off to Lazaro. He plays it into the corner. Back after it is Davidov, and now we get a whistle as Lazaro runs into the Russian cage and knocks it off its moorings. And the face-off will come back out in the neutral zone. 7:24 to go here in the second period. A wild hockey game, to say the least. 2 Russian players have been ejected for arguing with the officials. We've seen 2 shorthanded goals. We've seen breakaways. We've seen great efforts, especially by that man, Jeff Lazaro. He's played a great game tonight, has a couple of goals, and he was a free agent and talked to Tim Taylor about coming on this hockey team, but he wanted to check out his options in the NHL first and decided this was the best thing for him at this point. Off the face-off, Team USA controls. Laviolette rink wide to Crowley. He'll fire it in from center. Now Lazaro tries to hammer a quick one-timer, but it was blocked partially by Trutishny. And then Zuyev is able to cover it up and hold it for the face-off again in his own zone. And now there are just 6 seconds left on the Russian penalty.
Good crowd here tonight in the basketball area, but hockey down south here has really caught on.
Now Team Russia back at full strength. Team USA still controlling. Shot right in on Zuyev. He gloves it, holds on. And with a break in the action, Team USA leads by a score of 5-3. 6:57 to go here in the second. Face-off deep in the Russian zone to the right of goaltender Andrei Zuyev. Darby Hendrickson set to take the face-off for Team USA. Hendrickson wins the draw. A weak shot by Roberts goes rink wide. Now Guzmanov with it. Carries the puck to center. Into the Team USA zone. Throws it towards the cage. Dunham snares it with the glove and waits for the whistle.
And here's the score. From
Look at Mike Dunham. You see his mask there. CBS televised the game a Saturday ago, and they put this camera, they attached it to the side of his mask. It was a great shot because it was on. It would show the puck coming into his glove, coming into his body. When he went down, you had a close-up view of the puck. It's a great device. Fortunately, CBS was using it tonight, so we couldn't use it. But it's something that could really help the game of hockey. Here you see some more pushing and shoving around the benches. Best thing that'll happen is when this period ends and the teams can get in their boxes, in their dressing rooms, talk about it, and settle down a little bit. How's that for a name there, Jim? I mean, some of these Russian names are not easy when you haven't seen them before. Looks like they've sewn their N on backwards, and there are. Oh, they have to hire
that's why I have such a hard time reading these names. Out controlling it and bringing it in. Here's a chance going right in. Zudiev puts it across and they score. And it's now a 5-4 hockey game with 6:21 to go in the second period.
Well, we've seen two of these tonight. The harder you try sometimes, the worse it goes. And here again, it's going to be a quick turnover we talked about. And the Russian player does a nice dance to break through. Now he's going to throw it out front. There you see off the shin pad again of Team USA's defenseman. He does the right thing. I think it's Richter. He's doing the right thing. He's going down. He's got to stop that pass. But when the puck comes and it hits you in the shin pad, you don't know where it's going to go. And it was a perfect feed right through the legs of Mike Dunham. And it's now a 5-4 hockey game. It has been one of the craziest games, but very entertaining that I've seen in a while.
Now here's Karpov coming in. His shot, blocker pad saved by Dunham. Now out to center. Here's Hendrickson, has a man breaking. Craig Johnson going in. He shoots. He scores! Craig Johnson restores the 2-goal advantage.
Well, Craig Johnson is burning it up. He's been on a tear this tour, and tonight he's really finishing. This is his third goal, all different types of goals, but he does have the knack to score. Here's a breakaway. Now watch the Russian defenseman right at the end swing his stick to try and distract him, or at least give him a good chop. Doesn't distract Craig Johnson, and I don't know if he knows this goalie. This goaltender likes to sprawl on breakaways, so Johnson keeps it right on the ice and throws it under his body to the side that he's sprawling from, and that opened up the whole lower part of the net. But a big goal for Team USA after they had just given up a goal. So now they again have that 2-goal lead at 6-4.
Himes and Marchant get the assist. And let's take one more look at it. A great effort as Craig Johnson completes the hat trick.
Watch the sweater go flying there. Just a little shaving on the back of the pants. Doesn't seem, obviously doesn't distract Craig Johnson, who's having a great game. He's really picking his spots. He's going to the holes. He's driving to the net. He's finishing. He's waving to the crowd, laughing, having a great time here tonight. He's putting on quite a show. Already 3 goals with almost half the game left to go.
6 goals he has now in this series against the Russians. Now puck in the neutral zone. Buffet with it. Fires it ahead. Here's another chance. Lilly chases it down in the circle. Looks for a man in front. And the pass misfires to Roberts. Buffet, though, keeps it alive to Lilly again. High slot. Shot off the shoulder of Zudiev. Rebound. Buffet in behind to Lilly. He can't handle it. Roberts all tied up on the backboard. Now Lilly comes in with an elbow. Puck comes free. It's loose. Zudiev goes down and the puck slides in behind. Now Lilly to Buffet, up front to Roberts, backhander, and Zudiev gloves it and holds for the faceoff. And now we get some pushing and shoving, but the linesmen quickly step in between. 6-4, Team USA, back with more right after this. Tremendous pressure by Team USA as they try to increase this lead. And we've talked about this line earlier, and they've just really been putting the heat on.
Well, they're such a good forechecking line. You got Dave Lilly there, who's really, John Lilly, excuse me, does a lot of forechecking, finishes his checks, and sets up a lot of this. A good backhand by Roberts, and then after that play right in front of the net, Lilly and Davidoff mix it up, and Davidoff is the one who gets the penalty. So again, Team USA,
but Roberts joins them, so it's coincidental penalties. Roberts went a little bit in later, and so it's 4-on-4. But you're right, Davidoff initiated the altercation, but Roberts retaliated. Now here's Hauer coming in on the backhand, moves to the forehand, didn't really get much on the shot, and Suyev was able to make the save. Now Richter can't hold it in as Team USA attacks once more. Into the zone, here's Ralston moving in, and he can't get the pass off, as moving over to break it up was Alexander Shevernov, sorry. I'll have to take that Russian class again. Now here's Ralston back the other way. Ralston this time tries to go to the outside, but again, Shevernov cuts him off. Now here's Dmitry Popov. Working on Crowley, puts it through, but Dunham is there to sweep it away. And Laviolette bangs it off the boards out to center. Out of the reach of Hendrickson, and back the other way comes Zanuyev. Zanuyev trying to center for Popov, but it's taken away by Crowley. Now Zanuyev gets it again, then he's dumped in the corner. No call, and he's looking for it, and he's still down. Now here's Hendrickson into the slot. Moves in front, the shot is blocked, and still down back at the other end of the ice is Zanuyev, and apparently he caught a stick up high, and the trainer comes out to take a look at him.
Zanuyev thought he should have had a penalty against him down in the corner. He picks up the puck and starts to go up the ice again. Now there he gets tripped.
Oh, I see. He hit his head on Crowley's leg as he was falling. That's what it was. Banged the back of his head against Ted Crowley. But really, that really wasn't a penalty, though, because the Team USA defenseman touched the puck first. Am I correct in that?
Oh, exactly. That's a total accident. Now, there's the penalty that he thought he should have had against him. Now, look at, he's going, like, why not? Why not? He picks the puck up, he goes up the boards, and I don't want to say he's faking, but I know with that helmet and that play, he wasn't injured like he was. But, you know, the Russians, and we do it here now too, you try and be dramatic, you try and draw a lot of attention. If you don't get the call this time, maybe you'll get it the next time. And so we'll have to see how the referee is affected by that play right there.
But it seems like now that Team Russia has their whole focus on the referee right now and not on Team USA.
Exactly, yep.
Now here's a centering pass, broken up in front by Richards. Now in behind, Imes with it. Imes plays it ahead for Craig Johnson. He sidesteps one man, then sends his man flying, but he's going to go to the box here. And again, it almost looked like a good acting job by Pavel Lazarov, but this time he gets the call. And so Johnson goes to the penalty box with a smile on his face.
Well, I mentioned that the referee would be under some pressure now to call a penalty against Team USA. And there you see the guy's feet going up in the air. And I don't think Team USA really cares that they get a penalty now. They're ahead 6-4. They probably feel that maybe this will help settle the Russians down. I'm not saying the referee's calling a bad game. I'm saying he's had a very difficult game.
Right.
Most of the calls have gone against the Russians. Whether it's right or not, you make your own mind up, but I think most people feel that the Russians do deserve a break, and maybe that was their break.
Well, they have the power play here, trying to get back within a goal. A 4-on-3 advantage, and now two more players come out of the penalty box, so it's a 5-on-4 advantage for Team Russia. 2:32 to go here in the second period. 6-4 the score. Now puck along the near boards. Lilly trying to get it out, gets it near the blue line, and gets it ahead to Todd Marchand. Has Richter with him, but couldn't get him the pass. And Richter scores, but it's no goal as the play was offside.
Yeah, that doesn't help the cause. Richter scoring after the whistle. Barry heard the call, and you don't need that right now. Anything else to agitate the situation. But watch Richter, he's stretching. Watch his back leg stretch here to try and stay on side. It's awfully close, but it is called an offside, and then after that he went in and put the puck in the net anyway.
Barry Richter played for the University of Wisconsin last year, an All-American and All-WCHA defenseman.
Team USA has a good crop of offensive defensemen, Barry Richter being one of them. And they've really jumped up into play. They've been an integral part of the offense so far this tour, and especially tonight. But unfortunately, they're giving the puck away a little bit too much in their own end as well. But overall, the defense looks like it could do some damage offensively. If it can tighten up defensively, I think, again, you could compare it to a little bit what we had going in 1980 with that defense.
Now here's a chance in front. The shot goes wide as Subotin let it go. Now along the far boards, Subotin gets it back again. Subotin puts it into the corner deeper. John Lilly is there. He bangs it around the boards. It's held in by Shaverov. Over to Tertizny. His shot goes wide. Shaverov at the near point. His shot is blocked. Marchand in a foot race, and he'll win him most of the time. Marchand on the backhand, and Suyev scrolls to make the save. Now here's Lilly with the puck. Drops it back to Laviolette, and the Russians come away with it. Here's Popov into the zone, trying to put it in front, but Laviolette wraps him up, and Team USA wraps it all the way down. Now Suyev plays it out to center to Dmitry Popov. Into the zone is Guzmanov. Popov, and he's knocked down by Crowley. 1 minute to go here in a wild second period. Team USA leading by a score of 6-4. Johnson comes out of the penalty box just as it's shot all the way down, so there's no icing. Team USA now back at full strength. Now here's Danuyev starting the rush to center. Lazaro catches him looking the wrong way, but he'll get the penalty here for boarding. So Team USA kills one penalty off, but now they will be shorthanded again.
Well, this really isn't a penalty. Jeff Lazaro sees the Russian player with his head down and really makes a good hit. Unfortunately, it looks dangerous after he hits him. And you see him crashing into the boards, and that's why the penalty. But really, there's nothing illegal except that the Russian player has his head down, doesn't see Lazaro coming. And with 33 seconds to go at a 6-4 hockey game, the Russian team will have one last chance to narrow that lead before the period's over.
Now Bezrodnov plays it rink wide. Guzmanov. Now Zanuyev gives it to Bezrodnov. Turnover. Here's Richter. Rolston going in, hit the post. Campbell on the follow-up. And Zuyev stops that as well. The short-handed chances have just been amazing in this hockey game. Now here's Guzmanov in, time running out. He's taken down in the corner, and that will end one of the craziest periods of hockey I've ever seen. Here's that last chance again as the Russians turn it over deep in their own zone to Brian Ralston.
Now Brian Ralston has a great touch. We'd call it soft hands. Watch how easily he'll lay this back against the grain. Just throws it back, not very hard. Great try. Hit the goalpost. And Jimmy Campbell, following the play up, almost puts in the rebound. But watch how smooth this is. Bang, just throws it back easy off the goalpost. Campbell coming behind makes a good try. But Zuev has had a good game, and there's an opportunity to save two before the period was over.
Mike Dunham heads to the locker room, and Team USA heads to the locker room with a 2-goal advantage over Team Russia. Back with our second intermission features right after this timeout.
Welcome back, everybody. Team USA leading Team Russia 6-4 after 2 periods here at the Orlando Arena. And speaking of Team Russia, we have a fella joining us who knows quite a bit about the team, the visitors from across the ocean. This is Bob Allen. He is the, help me, the chairman.
Vice President of USA Hockey and chairman of the International Council.
Okay, we got that right. Which is essentially a tour guide for the Russian team. Tell us some of the things you've done.
At this time, it's a tour guide for the Russian team. Well, in the past, my association has been from I've been to 4 Winter Olympics and 1 Summer Olympics, and I've been associated with the Russian hockey team for the last 5 years on this annual December tour. You know, it gets different every year, but it gets kind of tiring, but it's fun to be with them. They're a nice group of people. They're very proud people, and you really can get to like them. It's too bad that there is the big language difficulty with us, but they're a great bunch of people. They have a good time.
Sort of a whirlwind tour, 7 games in just 14 days, and then they're back off to Russia. But you found time, or you do find time, to take them shopping. Tell us about that.
Well, this is one of the things they want to do the most, you know. They probably know more about our cities than we do. But the first thing, they started talking after the 3rd day, when are we going to go shopping? And so I told them when we got to Orlando that there'd be great shopping. So yesterday when we arrived, instead of going to practice, they went out to the Belts factory outlet, and they stayed there for 3 hours, and they loaded the bus with gifts for their families, not themselves mostly, but their wives and their children, and they're very happy about it.
Okay, real quickly, they've got a couple more games, don't they?
Yes, we play Saturday night in Memphis, Sunday night in Houston, and then on home.
Okay, it's been a whirlwind tour. We thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Allen, Vice President of USA Hockey. When we come back, a look at USA Hockey Youth Clinics. Again, the score 6-4 at the Orlando Arena. Team USA leading Team Russia after 2 periods. Welcome back to Orlando Arena. Team USA leading Team Russia 6-4 after 2 periods. Tonight's contest is part of a John Hancock USA Hockey Tour. John Hancock is not only helping to promote these great games, and boy, we have one tonight, they're also helping give young kids a chance to maybe be in the spotlight themselves someday. Here now is a look at what it is like to go to a USA Hockey Clinic.
You know, I thought winning the gold medal was a great experience and a great happening. But it wasn't until I came home and seeing all the faces and all the flags and all the signs that were put up gave me a much better understanding of how important our victory was and how special it was. You know, I remember when I was a kid, not that many people played hockey. We used to rent the ice at Revere Arena. Parents of my friends were our coaches. And, you know, without their help and their support, I know I never would have played hockey and never would have won a gold medal.
You went a little too wide, Brad, but that's all right. And who went and fell? And the only reason you fell was because you were trying to do too much. You were trying to cross over. All right? Straight ahead. That's the best way to go. All right, now what we're going to do...
The first time I've been involved with a company such as John Hancock that does a lot of youth hockey clinics. And that to me is a lot of fun. Seeing the faces of the young kids, seeing their parents, the enjoyment that they have, watching their children, you know, involved in a John Hancock clinic. The clinics that we've been doing have really run all over the country in conjunction with the U.S. Olympic team. The interesting part about the clinics is we didn't realize how old or how good the players we were going to be getting. We have kids sometimes that are 6, 7, and 8, and sometimes we get kids that are 13, 14, and 15. What has impressed me is the skill level of the players. They're very good players.
You got to move the puck, you got to shoot, use your wrist shot, not the big slap shot all the time. And above all, like Mike said, you got to push yourself and work hard. You have to work hard yourselves. No one else is going to do it for you. We want to shoot the puck on the ice.
Chris and Mike was awesome. I wish Chris and Mike could be at every practice.
Great night tonight. Let's give Mike and Chris a big round of applause for their help on the ice. All right?
I just remember way back when watching that Russian and USA team go at it in the final minutes and winning the gold medal, you know, when Mike shot in and won it for us. So it was great. I mean, to have him here is just like indescribable.
If the kids look at me as a role model, you know, I'm trying to instill in them the same values that were instilled in me as a young kid. It's hard work and pride and respect and commitment, kind of those old-fashioned values.
Stay on your feet, right? Don't go down.
You know, at these clinics, we don't try to drill the kids and make them work too hard. We want to make it a fun experience for them. But for most of these kids, it's the first time they get a feel for what the Olympic Games are all about and what it takes to become an Olympic athlete.
All right, youth hockey players all grown up for the Americans. They've scored 6 goals tonight, and we're not finished yet. 6-4, America, Team USA rather, leads Team Russia after 2 periods, and it was more scoring in that second period. Jimmy Rich and Chico Resch will be back with the highlights in just a moment.
Back at the Orlando Arena, Team USA enjoying a 2-goal cushion after 40 minutes of play as they lead it by a score of 6-4. And Chico, we saw the Russians really come unglued in that period, something you would not see 10, 15 years ago. How did they get their composure back for this third period? Because they're only 2 goals down.
Well, I think it's a good thing that the period ended. I think they can get in that dressing room and talk about it and get it back together, because you can't win if you're going to lose your composure and focus on the referee. Even though they may feel, and correctly so, they may have gotten some bad calls. Team USA has talked about not doing that. They've done a better job of holding their composure, and they've got to continue to do the same thing.
Well, in between all those penalties in the second period, there was some fantastic goal scoring, led by Craig Johnson, who got things started at the 147 mark. Unassisted goal for Mr. Johnson, his second of the night.
It's off a face-off. There's 3 unassisted goals this period. Shows you how the defense are turning the puck over. Johnson sneaking out from behind the net, steals the puck, makes a good backhand shot, but stays there for the rebound and tucks in the second shot on his forehand upstairs.
Then the Russians come back to make it another unassisted goal, this one by Guzmanov.
Almost exactly the same play as we've just watched. In this case, though, maybe the water on the ice had something to do with Team USA defenseman losing the puck. But again, it was a double loss because the Russian player lost the puck, but it slithered into the net.
Then on the power play, Team USA goes back out with a power play goal from Jeff Lazaro.
Well, this is a great goal. A legitimate goal. Richter goes down the wing, he pounds it at the net. There you see Jeff Lazaro driving for the net, tries to hit it with his stick, and I'm not sure that it didn't hit the Russian trailing and go off his shin pad. Nevertheless, a good goal for the Team USA.
Then Zanuviev comes up with the goal, another unassisted, our third of the period.
Well, Zanuviev's just trying to throw it across. Richter again, who set up the last goal, scores this one, not by design. He goes down to try and stop the pass across, hits him in the shin pad, bang, it goes between Dunham's legs.
And then there was no bad bounces or any luck involved in this goal, just a great effort by Craig Johnson.
Well, great pass by Marchand to set it up, and you see how Johnson delayed, lifted his leg, took his time, and fired it under the Russian goalie. He's having some kind of game. He's got 3 tonight, and we'll see what happens in this third.
Well, it should be interesting. Craig Johnson, 3 goals in the hockey game. He now has 6 in this series alone and 19 on the year as he takes over the goal-scoring lead for Team USA.
Well,
and we'd like to tell you that this summary is being brought to you by U.S. College Hockey Magazine. It's a magazine with full colors devoted entirely to college hockey. So if you like hockey in Detroit, Denver, Maine, Minnesota, no one covers the college game like U.S. College Hockey, with interviews, features, standings, and much, much more. So all you have to do to get your subscription is send a check or money order for 7 issues to Peabody, Massachusetts, P.O. Box 3475. The zip is 01960.
A lot of kids here tonight. It's been a good crowd. I can't estimate. This rink is so huge. I would think probably 8 to 10. The tour hasn't drawn as well down south as they would have liked. They had 6 the other night in North Carolina and only 4 in Atlanta. But down here in Orlando, where Tampa Bay has come up and played some exhibition games, there seems to be quite a bit of interest, and tonight is a good turnout.
Well, the Lightning are even going to play some regular season games in this building. I think they have 5 coming up next month. So this is almost a second home for the Tampa Bay Lightning as they continue to try and get an arena built over in Tampa Bay. 6-4, the Americans lead as we start the final 20 minutes of play. Power play for Russia as we start this period. 1:09 is carrying it in as Guzmanov flips it through in front, and the shot is steered away by Dunham, and then the rebound's cleared out to center where Tertishny has it to Guzmanov. Now Osterkontsiev gets it back to Tertishny. To Zanuviev. Zanuviev moving in, side of the net, centering pass. That's blocked by the sprawling Chris Imes. He tries to cover it for the faceoff. The puck finally comes to the side of the cage, and Dunham covers it with the trapper and holds it for the faceoff.
Chris Imes did a good job there. Chris Imes isn't maybe the best skater on this Team USA, but he does a good job around the net. There you saw him leave his feet slide to take away the pass across the crease. There you see Mike Dunham, who's thankful that he did, because those are the toughest plays for a goaltender. You're in one post, they throw it across the crease, and the other guy's wide open, almost impossible to stop.
Another 40 seconds to kill on this penalty to Team USA. Johnson tries to clear. Popov, though, keeps it in for Team Russia, and it's a pop fly to Mike Dunham, and he catches it with a glove. And how about his situation right now, Chico? He hasn't seen a lot of shots, only 12 in the first two periods. A lot of extracurricular activities going on, but he has to stay out of that stuff, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and I think that's one of the big adjustments that goaltenders who come from college hockey or North American hockey has to make. But remember last year, Mike Dunham played on a team, Maine, who was very good. He didn't get a lot of shots, but won every game, only tied one game. So he knows how to mentally approach these games.
Now back after it is Lazarov in the corner. Gets it to Dudulov, back to the point. Now taking a look there is Nikulin. Pass goes rink wide on the far side. The Russians control. Nikulin drops it off on the side. Back to Nikulin. His shot to the side of the net. It was a pass to Lazarov, but he couldn't hold it. And Team USA is back at full strength as Marchand is able to backhand it down into the Russian zone. Now Nikulin slides one down into the Team USA zone. They wave the icing. Back to get it, Howard. Lays it up to Roberts. Ferraro has it knocked away, and Howard will try a second time. Now Howard plays it up the boards. It's tipped all the way down by Chris Ferraro, and this will be an icing. And so we'll have a face-off back down in the Team USA zone. There you get a look at Valery Belarusov, and he's had a lot to try to get a handle on for his team. They've had problems with the referees, but I'm sure he's telling his players, forget about the referee, let's just play the game, because they're a very fine hockey team, and they're very capable of erasing this 2-goal lead. Now Richards, check that, Richter in behind, gives to Howard. And now Team USA gets it out to center. Here's David Roberts. Bumped off the play. And back comes Team Russia. Now at the side of the net in front, and they score! A great passing play. And the Russians are back within a goal as Gatalin comes down the slot, takes the pass, and scores. And it's now a 6-5 hockey game.
Great job of Gatalin coming late. Now there you see 24th top of your screen. He's going to score the goal. Saw how he delayed? Roberts let him go. He thought he wasn't going to go towards the net. And when Galin thought he had a little room, he drove for the net and a great pass right in front. Actually, Dunham gets a piece of this, but it hits his right pad, goes through his legs and into the net.
And so Gatalin brings Team Russia within a goal. Now here's Zanuviev into the zone. Bumped off the play by Ian Moran. And now Team USA comes back with Ralston on his backhand. Zuyev makes the save. Rebound into the near side. Campbell tries to center. That's picked off. And now the Russians come out to center and fire it in. Dunham tries to play it into the near corner. And now here's Hendrickson. His pass is behind a man, but then he recovers as he's able to pick off a Russian pass. Now back in for Team Russia is Guzmanov. His shot, pad save Dunham. Rebound comes back near the blue line. Zanuviev keeps it in. Fired into the corner by Nikulin. And now here's Crowley getting it out to Campbell. Team USA in the midst of a change, and the puck is shot out of play. And so with a break in the action, Team USA now leads by just a goal, 6-5 over Team Russia. Well, not only have the Russians lost 2 players to game misconduct, Valery Karpov, one of their most talented players, has not been out there for most of the second period after he got those first 2 goals in the first period. He went down hard after scoring that second goal, and the effects of that collision with the end boards may have taken him out of this hockey game.
A lot of room on that Russian bench right now. They really spread out. Belarus played in the played only in Team Canada on 76. He didn't get a real good taste of playing at the high level, but he's from the Ural Mountains where these 2 teams are from. One team is sponsored by a tractor company, the other by an automobile company. They combine the 2, and he's coaching his hometown team. I'm sure he's looking to move up, just like here in North America. Those coaches are all looking to get to the big leagues, and same thing I'm sure in Russia right now.
Now Laviolette tries to spring Marchand. The pass doesn't connect, but now Marchand puts it in front. Zuliev makes the save, and he holds on as he carried the puck out and looked like he wanted to drop it and continue play, but he elected to hold on as 2 Team USA defenders moved in on him.
Here's just a simple little dump in European, Olympic type hockey. They'll allow the goaltender to hang on to the puck more, not move it as readily as he has to in the National Hockey League. And there you see he has lots of room to move it, but the referee just blew the whistle for a face-off. Probably kind of is afraid to yell at him to move it or give him a penalty, certainly.
Now off the face-off, Team Russia controls. Sending it in from center is Davidov. Dunham out behind his net, sets it up for Richards. Pass ahead to Lilly. He spins to get around Davidov, but then he's bumped off the play. And now the Russians control. Lilly, though, takes it back for Team USA. Richards' pass connects with Buffet. He circles back in his own zone. Buffet to the center line. Tries to play it in. That's knocked down. Now Richards will fire it in from the red line. Back to get it, Davidov. Davidov plays it up to Popov. His pass is deflected in the air. Buffet drives one and scores! Wow, what a shot by Mark Buffet, and it's 7-5.
There you see Zuev hanging his head. Another unassisted goal. It's stuffed way up in the air. Great basketball move to pull the puck down by Mark Buffet, and then he just hammers it. He hammers it on the stick side, about 12 or 13 inches high. Perfect shot. Look at that, just over the pad, missed the stick. Watch it here, you'll get a good look. It's just a great shot. You see the goaltender there. He'd like to be there, but the puck is just over that pad. A perfect height to the shot by Mark Buffet, and it gives the U.S. team another 2-goal lead, 7-5.
Buffet's second of the night, another chance, but Zuliev comes up with a save. Buffet is second of the night, 17th of the year, unassisted. And that has been the story of this hockey game, unassisted goals. Now here's a turnover at center. Hendrickson into the zone, but then loses control. But Team USA gets it back as Marchand with it. Over to Ferraro, he shoots! Zuliev way out to make the save on Chris Ferraro. Now back comes Team Russia. Going in is Guzmanov, and his shot just trickles wide to the far side. Now Guzmanov in behind, being bothered from behind by Chris Imes, and Darby Hendrickson plays it off the boards out to center. Now back in come the Russians, trying to get it in front is Ostrakontsev, but he can't get the handle on the puck. And on the far side, Ferraro bangs it off the boards out to center. Now Dunham sets it up in behind for Imes to Lazaro. Team USA leading by 2, 13:38 to go here in the third period. Brian Ralston comes quickly to center. Tries to get around to Kulin, gets it right back. Oh, what a pass and what a save by Zuyev. A quick bang-bang passing play, and Ralston nearly made it 8-5. Down to Kulin, dumps it in. Team USA, though, with no pressure on them. Lazaro in behind, quickly. Outlet pass to Ralston. Ralston coming across the line to Richter. Kicks it towards the net. Loose puck in front. They bang away at it. And finally it goes in the net. But the referee waves it off, saying it was covered before it went into the net. USA leads 7-5. Back with more right after this timeout. Another good chance for Team USA as Barry Richter can't get a stick on it, so he gets a skate on it.
The first goal wouldn't have counted if Richter had kicked that in, but then after it hits the goalie and remains in play, then it's free. It's a free puck, and of course, Team USA tried to jam away at it and finally did get it in, but just after the whistle had gone. But Barry Richter is doing a good job of using his legs. He unfortunately put one in on his own net tonight, and they're just about put one in the other net.
Look at the shot total, 2-1 advantage for Team USA. And the crowd imploring the Americans to do more as they chant USA, USA.
And there's 12:59 left in this period, and Team USA should have an advantage, Jim, going down the stretch. They've got still their 4 lines intact. Team Russia's lost at least one full line, and they're looking like their shifts are getting a little shorter. They're getting a little more tired at the end of them. So it'll be an interesting concept to see if the conditioning of Team USA makes a difference down the stretch.
Big hit by Johnson along the near boards. Now Johnson battling, trying to get it ahead. And he does, as Peter Ferraro has it for a moment, but then Davidov takes it away. Now Marchand steals, but Laviolette, or check that, Peter Ferraro didn't clear the zone in time. And so we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. And Todd Marchand is one of the fastest players on this team, and perhaps one of the fastest in Olympic history. They timed the players skating blue line to blue line. He did it in 1.39 seconds. And the old record was by Neil Broughton, 1.41. So that shows you what kind of speed that Todd Marchand possesses. Now Crowley fires it in from center. In first for Team USA is Roberts. He winds it around in behind. On the far side, Crowley a long shot. Save, rebound. And Zuyev covers that up as well, as Roberts got the rebound off of Crowley's shot from the blue line.
You know, you talk about shots from the point. Here's the rebound. Unfortunately, we didn't see the initial shot. But Ted Crowley did a good job of keeping the puck at a height that the goalie couldn't grab it. He couldn't put it in the corner. And there you saw the rebound come right to Roberts, who just missed.
Now here's Laviolette in his own zone. 7-5, Team USA leads it. Laviolette, long pass, knocked down at center. Guzmanov with it, but then taking it right away from him is Roberts. Roberts plays it in for Buffet, but that's stolen away. And Zanuyev comes back into the Team USA zone. Now turns back towards the blue line, feeds it to Tertishny, but he has it slapped away by Roberts. Back to get it, Shavara. Plays it to Zanuyev. Now drops it back to Tertishny. Back to Zanuyev. Rink-wide feed connects into the zone, trying to go wide is Ostrakontsev, but he loses it. Now back comes Team USA. Hendrickson with Craig Johnson. Tries to get it through to him. Oh, what a play! Beautiful passing, and Team USA now leads 8-5. You can't draw it any better on the blackboard. A great goal, and it's now a 3-goal lead for Team USA.
Certainly the prettiest goal of the night. Starts at the Team USA blue line, a great move right there to get the pass across, and then it's thrown across again, and the finish is right upstairs. Craig Johnson could have scored his 4th goal. He elected to pass, made a great pass.
Here they come again. Johnson, this pass this time is blocked, as Team USA comes close again. Chris Imes gets the goal, and Johnson the assist. 8:38 time of the goal, as Hendrickson and Imes pick up the assist. Or check that, Johnson and Imes pick up the assist. Imes from Hendrickson and Johnson. That's the way it should read. 10:43 to go here. Team USA with now an 8-5 lead. They win this game, they will win this series between the Soviets. Now here's Jim Campbell. Can't handle a bouncing pass. Feeds it high in the slot, but it's picked off by Popov. And now the Russians try to come back the other way, but the pass is too far for Lazarov. And Team USA dumps it out to center. Here's Brett Howard. Howard to the line, but offside goes Team USA. And so with a break in the action, Team USA leads by a score of 8-5. Chris Imes getting the 8th goal. There you see Chris Imes, his first goal tonight coming at 8:38. And we talked about how Tim Taylor wants his defensemen to get involved, and this is exactly what he was talking about.
Well, Chris Imes is not going to get many goals, and he scored that like he's been scoring 50 a year. Chipped it upstairs. Just a great finish by a defensive defenseman, and it's nice to see those guys. And you saw on our cutaway shot him laughing, and you know, they don't get much attention, those defensemen that don't score much. He's still enjoying it. So when they score a goal, boy, do they have a good time. And of course, all the players bug them the next day and ask them to try and duplicate it. But as you mentioned, a good indication of how Timmy Taylor and John Cuniff want their defensemen to get involved in the play if the opening is there. They have to take calculated risks, and they don't want to just run and gun without making sure the options and the percentages are in their favor.
I don't know what we're watching here, but they apparently aren't too interested in this hockey game.
They're just enjoying that last goal.
Kind of like where they have college kids do push-ups for college kids do the push-ups after the touchdown. I guess they they kiss for each USA goal, perhaps. Now here's Ferraro on the doorstep, but Suyev comes up with the save there. Now Team Russia comes back into the USA zone, but no farther as it's broken up there. And now Katalin circling in his own zone, getting a stick up high, and that will cost. I believe it was Peter Ferraro that got the stick up high on Bezrodnov. And Ferraro has also picked up a misconduct as he grabbed the shoulder of referee Dunn after he skated by, making the penalty call.
Well, there you see the penalty. That's obvious. Now watch Peter Ferraro grab the referee. He could have been thrown out for this. Remember, there, the Soviet player was thrown out for tapping the referee on the behind with a stick. And there's Peter Ferraro leaving now. Of course, there's only 9:27 left, so maybe it's just the fact he got a 10 minutes. But it could have been a game. Not a good move by Peter Ferraro. And this referee, Dunn, he's had a rough night. He's been involved in a lot of controversial plays. He's been physically pushed around, we'll put it that way. He hasn't really been abused. No one's hit him very hard, but
still, I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw any player have any contact with the official, and we've seen it at least 2 times tonight. And 3 players have been thrown out for arguing with the officials.
Not a good situation.
So Team Russia on the power play here for the next 2 minutes as Ferraro gets a holding penalty and then a game misconduct. Now Zuyev way out of his net to play it to Tatishny, but he just lets it go by him out to center. And Laviolette with it in his own zone to Crowley. He blasts it all the way down. Tatishny back to pick it up for Team Russia. Slides it ahead. And Ostrakontsev carries in. Tries to center, but it's broken up there, and Richards drives it all the way down. 8-5, Team USA leads it. And if they win this game, they will win this series. They'll have a commanding lead of 4-1, and they will play the remaining games of the tour. And still, it'll be very good practice for Team USA to experience the international competition, but they'll have the bragging rights of this Super Series against the Russians. Now Dunham sets it up for Richards. He winds it around the glass by the point man. And once again, Team Russia has to go back and regroup. Blavatsky back for the Russians, plays it ahead. Now Zabotin's rink-wide pass connects. Moving in on the far side is Popov, but Hauer ties him up nicely, pushes him up against the backboards. Now Popov gets free, plays it in behind. Here's Zabotin with it. Back to the point to Nikulin. Now a cross-ice pass is knocked down by Hauer, and he's able to send it all the way down. And that'll just about kill the penalty to Ferraro, as there's just 2 seconds left in his penalty time. Now Nikulin gets it ahead to Gatalin. Gatalin into the USA zone, but then he's rubbed out along the near boards by Richter. Roberts winds it around the far side, held in there. Now Roberts with it again. Nice move to get away from one man, and he leads a 3-on-2 rush to Ferraro. Back to Roberts. Centering pass is blocked by the sprawling defender. And a long lead pass. Here's Popov after a loose puck. Poked it by Dunham. And a great job by Howard to knock it away. And Popov had a wide open net to put it in. Now Hendrickson back to